Good day and welcome to the studios of the National Television Network, NTN. And in studio with us today we have members of the Saint Lucia Cadet Core, and no, it's not a coup, not a hostile takeover. They're here by friendly means. And let me just introduce my guests here today. First we have, it's a very long title, the Commanding Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Hyacinth. We also have here with us Jikela Ome. I hope I got that right. She's giving me that look to make sure that I got that name correct. We have Aiden Hyacinth, and if you're wondering, yes, it's a father-son relationship here. And we also have Jamal Springer.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the studios of NTN. I'm going to start first of all with the lieutenant. We're starting by command rank, so starting at the top. Tell us first about the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps. For persons wondering, just give us a brief history and about the Cadet Corps in general.
All right, good morning. The Cadet Corps is a youth organization. We use a military structure within our organization, and we teach military subjects in addition to other soft skills that will encourage our students to become productive citizens. The Corps has as its motto leadership, discipline, and service. And so you find that all the things that we do within the organization, we tend to move it around that theme of our motto. So we are very much service-oriented. We tend to develop our young cadets that they become leaders. And that's why we encourage them to be leaders within the school sector, leaders at home, leaders in all areas that they are in, whatever other clubs that they belong to. So you will find that our cadets are prefects at schools and things like that. So the Cadet Corps started in St. Lucia in 1929. And we started at the St. Mary's College. So it only started there. A few years after, it moved across to the Vieux-Fort Comprehensive Secondary School. So we had one unit in Castries, one unit in Vieux-Fort, and then it started to spread from then on. Our latest unit has to be the Cicero Secondary School as our latest unit that has come on. We have cadets who belong to other schools that are not yet official, for instance, the Marigo, or the, I forget his official name now. Stanley John Secondary School. They do come in, but they are not yet an official unit. So we start off at the secondary school level. You must have, you must be within the secondary school. So we start at age 11 until you have moved on to age 16 when you leave secondary school. What we have also done is to extend our life by 2 additional years. That you can attain or attend the tertiary institution, Saint Lucia Community College. So the cadet year, as a cadet, your life as a cadet is just about 7 years. All right. After that, when you graduate, and you're hoping that by then you will have developed that skill that would have made you that well-rounded and productive citizen in St. Lucia.
When you say graduate to what? What's the next step after you graduate, after that 7-year range you spoke about?
Well, unless you have attained the rank of sergeant, because this is what within our regulation. So you have to attain the rank of sergeant, and then you may be able to continue within the organization after that 7 years. So if you have not yet attained the rank of sergeant, your cadet life more or less ends there.
Okay.
Once you have attained that rank, you can continue, and then there's progression. So you can become an officer, well, not necessarily an officer. First you move on to the warrant officer or the middle management area, and then you can go off to become an officer within the organization. Okay, so your cadet life, as I said, it starts at age 11. If you join in Form 1 at a secondary school, not everybody will be a sergeant. Your unit only has 1 sergeant, so within every unit, you will have 1 person attaining the rank of sergeant. And that person then can continue within their cadets life. They may remain as what we refer to as NCOs, that is a non-commissioned officer, or they can apply now to become a commissioned officer, and then they will hold the office. So your battle rank shifts now from on your shoulder, from the arm up onto your shoulder at that point in time, where you become a commissioned officer with more responsibility, and you do the managing aspect of cadetting there.
Well, since you're on this subject, just expound a little more about the composition of the Cadet Corps.
Right, so as I mentioned earlier, we follow a military structure. So it's military command, so you have command and instructions are handed down. So at the bottom, you come in as a recruit, you move up next to a private, and then move them to lance corporals, then corporals, sergeants, warrant officers, and that's a warrant officer is the most senior of the what you call the NCO cadre. And then now you go up to the officer cadre, where you have the second lieutenants, the lieutenants, captains, majors, and lieutenant colonels. You have colonels in the region, and you also, the highest rank in the region at the moment is brigadier. So this is a one-star general. So if we're lucky enough to get our numbers growing that strong, then maybe one day Saint Lucia can have a brigadier. But at the moment, our numbers only allow us to have a lieutenant colonel as the commanding officer.
What are those numbers like in Saint Lucia?
We're just about 400, 465 there. It fluctuates kind of because you have those persons who are very active and people who are not very active, so we don't see all of these people. On a normal basis, you would see just about 300 persons, both in the north and the south. When you combine the two, you'll see those persons come out. But on paper, you have just about 465.
Who provides general oversight and governance of the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps?
Well, the Cadet Corps actually is a government organization. So we fall under Act number 23 of 2005, and we fall under the Ministry of Education. So the Minister of Education is responsible, and he provides, or he or she, the minister provides the oversight, general oversight of the Cadet Corps. The minister has to assist in what you call the Cadet Advisory Council. Sadly, the council has not been in effect for the last 4 years. So we have been missing that council. We had a council in place for that 3 years prior to that. And we, since that council has expanded its time, there has not been a reinstatement of that council. And we're really hoping that we can get that level of oversight done. Because without that level of oversight, there's a lot that cannot happen. Mm-hmm. For instance, the commanding officer cannot be reappointed. The officers coming in cannot receive the commissions. They cannot get promoted officially. They can act. I can only give an acting promotion. Mm-hmm. But to promote them officially, the advisory council has to give that blessing or that oversight to the minister, indicating that, listen, these guys have performed and they are ready for promotion, etc. So we're hoping that in the very near future that the Minister of Education can assist us, step in there and get that advisory council in place so that we can at least continue with the operations of the Cadet Corps. It is important that we have that level of oversight. I don't believe an organization like ours should be operating without that level of oversight. Mm-hmm. The nature of what we do, I think is important that you're not left to just operate on your own. I mean, in the past, that's how it was. We were just operating on our own there in the wilderness with no level of oversight. But I don't think that we should really go back into that. Since we already had the council in place, there is no need for us to go back into just being in no man's land. Okay? In
the absence of that council, is that also a hindrance to you receiving funding, subventions from government, or how does that work?
No, the council will not prevent the receiving of the subvention. The subvention, again, is by law, and we receive that subvention through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It's funny enough how it works. Our money comes out from Youth and Sports, but the oversight is in education. Years ago, just a brief history on that, when the ministry used to be Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports. But when that split came about, you found that the fund went one way and the oversight stayed with the ministry. We've been trying our best to see how we can remedy this, because it's an anomaly, and it doesn't give you that level of oversight and that responsibility from the ministries as it should be, okay? Because who's responsible for you? And it is something that we need to fix. very soon.
To the viewers tuning in right now, I'm wondering, what is the relevance of the Saint Lucia Cadet Core to Saint Lucia? What would you answer to that question?
Right, that's very interesting. And as I normally say to all of my officers and the cadets, what made you want to join the organization? I just give, even before I answer you, I joined the Cadet Corps because I was attracted to service. I remember after Hurricane Allen, I saw persons on a helicopter passing, and recognizing one person, it was an uncle of mine. I said, okay, when I met him, I said, what are you doing there? Why are you doing this? He said he's helping out with relief supplies after the hurricane. I said, I want to do that. As soon as I joined St. Mary's College, once I got into St. Mary's College, I signed up for cadets. Sadly, I have not ridden that helicopter yet. But
I was about to ask you that, if you've taken that helicopter ride.
Not as yet. But I have done a lot more than that. But the service aspect of it. So the Cadet Corps is a youth discipline organization. And we have, at least, what we try to do is to produce productive young citizens. And in being productive, it says that, listen, you have the soft skills that are important for the work environment. You have the soft skills that are important for home environment and for all the environments that you are in. And we get those youngsters ready for any occasion so that they can survive under nearly all conditions. So that's why we have survival training camps. We have other activities that will teach them to do certain things that they are able to survive. The organization also is involved in disaster relief. And the Cadet Corps is mandated by law also that we sit as the chairperson of the National Supplies Committee. And there we work with NIMO as volunteers, and we ensure that the country receives or the fair distribution of supplies together with the director of NIMO to all of the communities in St. Lucia. So we receive them when they come in on island, and we assist them to go out of island. So we are there in that disaster process. The Cadet Corps also does a lot of work within the protocol aspect of things. So we do a lot of flag protocols. So any of the businesses, organizations who have conferences, who have those opening ceremonies, they normally come to us because we are so trained. Our cadets are very proficient at those ceremonies, those flag ceremonies. So we will parade those flags in. We do a fantastic show. Well, we've been told that our work is very good with the OECS, for instance. Every time there is an anniversary of any of the islands of the OECS, you will see one of our cadets up on the Mon raising the flag on the occasion of the anniversary of any of the islands. So that is one of the things that we do. So heads of government, you will notice our cadets coming to parade those flags. You also saw them at the installation of the new Archbishop. Okay, our cadets were there parading those flags. So you'll see our cadets in lots of areas when it comes to flag protocols. Years ago, we used to do things like security and things like that sort, but we've kind of still scaled back on that because we had to think of our younger cadets, don't get the cadets really involved in that aspect of things. Although our adult cadets, the officers, they do participate in other more strenuous and activities. We do assist the police when required. Gone past, we have done work with the police for election times. We've done protocols for the when World Cup was there. We've done some what we call security for the dignitaries and whatnot. So we have assisted in that kind of area. But our cadets, they are really tuned to the service, and whatever areas of service, once it's within our mandate, our cadets are going to be there ready to serve.
And there also seems to be a strong correlation between the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps and the Office of the Governor General, particularly when it comes to anything to do with royal visits. Just speak to that.
Right. Why you would find that is our cadets receive what we refer to as Queen's Commissions. All right, and that Queen's Commission will take you throughout the Commonwealth. So as a commissioned officer, wherever the royalty comes in, you will get a commissioned officer working with that individual, that member of the royal family. So we are very close to Government House. We're very close. We have been in times of Dame Paulette Louise. We were always there. We had what we refer to as the Royal Guards. That any time that there was a visit, we had a contingent doing all of these ceremonies at Government House. We're hoping to continue that, to set up a new guard unit that will assist our present Governor General in those endeavors. So we're hoping to continue that service. We started with the late Major Roger Doxy. He was a MVO, member of the Victorian Order. So you'll find that whenever the royalty came in, he as MVO had to step up and to work as the ADC to the royalty at the time. So that tradition just continued from there.
We're in the month of July, a very special month, the best month I think your son would say. He just celebrated his birthday, he said, and he was truly a birthday coming up. But the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps, July is also very significant for you. Tell us why.
Yeah, so the cadet movement came into Saint Lucia, and this was the birth of cadet in Saint Lucia. Even before I go there, cadetting actually started in 1856 in the United Kingdom. And that really started where the youngsters were prepared and preparing to defend England from invasion. When that invasion never came about, they had to see what they were going to do with those youngsters. So they continued training them, continued keeping them off the streets, making them more productive citizens, and that came to Saint Lucia. It came to Saint Lucia in 1929, on the 13th of July. And that's why we tend to look at July as one of our most important months, where we recognize cadetting as coming into Saint Lucia, and we recognize, not just Saint Lucia cadets, we recognize cadetting in general, cadetting throughout the region, cadetting internationally. We also have most of our activities, our national summer camp, which actually is in July. So our summer camp starts off, I think, on the 22nd of July. And so this is one of our heaviest activity coming on there. So all the cadets around the island are going to be participating in this annual summer camp. Our cadets are missing this because since COVID, we have not had many activities. And so that's why we lost a lot of cadets. And this year, we're hoping to have a much bigger activity. We're camping in Dennery, and we're not going to be staying in Dennery. We're going to be moving around quite a bit, so you're going to see our cadets in most places of the island. They'll be walking around and doing other activities, getting to learn a lot more about Saint Lucia. So July, yes, one of our most important months. We celebrate our birthday, and we celebrate cadetting.
What are some of the other activities you have planned coming up?
Well, the anniversary activity started on Sunday, where we had a church service at the Lady Fatima Church, Catholic Church in La Clery. We started with a very beautiful blessing of the cadet month. We have this talk show where we want to be able to introduce cadetting to Saint Lucia. Although I say introduce, but then we're celebrating 93 years. But we needed to also get the perspective of the youngsters, not just me as one of the older, or I say older, but I have cadets who are much older than I am. But we want to be able to celebrate them for their joining the organization and why they join, and encourage other young persons to join the organization. Then we're going to have what you refer to as a family day, where we have a parade first, where all the members of the Cadet Corps come to show off themselves. We're hoping that happens on Saturday, although that just may change, but the tentative date is this coming Saturday, where they come to present themselves to the commanding officer. This is what you have, sir, this is your strength. That should follow a family day. Then we have a community project day, so we're going to do something charitable, whether it is a feeding program, whether it is the painting of a school or something, they're actually working on that at the moment. So we do something charitable. Then we're going to move towards a games night and games day, where you have the cadets and the officers just engaging in some fun activity. And we're hoping to have a close of the month with a grand fundraising activity. The things are moving a little slower than we really wanted to, so that may spill off into the other month, but we want to have a fundraising activity because, as with everything else, the organization requires funding to get the uniforms and all the things that we need. Right, so that will more or less round off the activities for the anniversary itself. All right, so, and the summer camp itself is going to be all in that theme of cadetting, the same Dover sum that has been used as the general theme for independence. Right, you'll get that carrying right across into the cadetting theme. So we're looking to have a very interesting summer, the beginning of the summer program, with our cadets from there.
We're going to take a break shortly and come back to hear from the younger cadets. I'm making an appeal to persons who are interested in joining the Cadet Corps. But before you leave us, just answer this one question. If someone is asking, why should I join the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps? What would your answer to that be?
I will tell someone, anybody who wishes to join the organization, that they must come with the intention of serving. You must be someone who's not looking for the glory, not looking for fame, but someone who is able to serve country, serve not this country alone, serve the youth, and to get that youth to bring them up to a standard that you would like them to be. So as with everything else, the theme that my officers have come up with, be the change that you want to see in this world. So you living that change, we need to be able to pass it on to the younger generation. And one of my themes for this year, as I said, we're really looking to see how we're going to pass on the mantle, because I'm all into succession planning, and we have to be able to look at what are we looking next after I go, because by law, the commanding officer or adults can only serve up to age 55 by law. So we have to be able to make room for the younger ones as they come in. So when you come into the organization, we're looking for someone, yes, there will be the nice times, there will be the hard times, but it's all about service and getting that level of discipline that is in here, that require us to produce well for Saint Lucia.
I take it that Desro's legacy song is one of your favorites, about succession plans. We're due for a break. When we return, we'll speak to some of the younger cadets in the room here with me today. So let's take that break right now and see you on the flip side of that break.
Yes, thank you.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand, shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is Saint Lucia. Let her inspire you.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. No, Think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join.
Excessive agrochemical use, additives, and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy, and consume organic. A message from Rise Saint Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP.
The good food revolution.
Saint Lucia ka registre vers min corona. Ek I ka fait mouvement ek an chay vitesse tan, chaque canef ka kouye pour viligence publique la, fait wolo, parler en place publique, kon bol en main, base, ti boutique, changer, distance sociale, 6 pieds, hod yon a lot. I ka travay tan, si ou senti ko pa cordial, quarantine ko, patwe en contact epi lot, en ka ou te toape exposé. Si yon ekouye, free 11 ou ben n'importe clinique yo pou yo. Le pays a dimi a clé, ça vle di, les supermarkets, pharmacie epi ATM, yo accessible avant c'était souhait. Pays a clé en plein, ça vle di tout bagay fermé à 24 heures. Servi protocole comme sorti par bureau indication santé. Nous tout ensemble, ça sauvé vers min corona. Si nous tous servi Jidla à toutes les.
Together let us win this war. Saint Lucia be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
And welcome back to the studios of the National Television Network. We're joined in studio now by some young members of the Saint Lucia Cadet Core looking quite sharp. And they're all staring at me to ensure that I get their names correct. So we have with us Crystal Bailey, Jikela Ume, Eden Hyacinth, and Jamal Springer. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
Jamal, what is that little rope? I see one with the rope. And
well, you see, what they are wearing is the training wear, the drill wear, and I'm wearing field wear.
All right. I always wondered about the different types of uniforms that you guys have. So what was the uniform again they have on?
Okay, so what they are wearing now is the number 2. Mm-hmm. And this is the drill wear.
The drill.
The drill training wear. Mm-hmm. What I'm wearing is field wear.
Okay.
So I'm not wearing the lanyard they are wearing on the left.
So before we leave, you think we should get them to do a drill for our viewers at home, just to see how well they picked up on the drill?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, definitely, we're going to do that. Jamal, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the whole cadet movement in Saint Lucia.
Okay, so like the commanding officer said previously, we normally join, well, we can join from age 11, Form 1. I had no prior knowledge of the Cadet Corps. I believe I saw some cadets drilling back in Form 1. I used to go to the Babylon Secondary School. Mm-hmm. So I saw cadets drilling, and I just fell for the drill aspect. So I was kind of curious as to what it was. The next day, I put down my name on a paper, and 18 years later, I'm here.
What was your principal, Mr. Fenelon?
Yes.
Gave you a lot of encouragement. I know you could talk a lot sometimes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. About myself, so I've been in the Cadet Corps for about 18 years now. September will make it 18. I went to the Babylon Secondary School. I'm currently a teacher. I have a lot to thank the Cadet Corps for kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a lot to thank the Cadet Corps for in terms of developing that discipline aspect in me, the confidence as well, and service, basically.
What are some of the things you've been involved in terms of service in the Cadet Corps?
The first
I know, for
thing-
example, the last 2 years, the Saint Lucia Cadet Core did a lot in terms of food distribution
Yes.
during COVID.
The first memory I can call back, I was a part of the Hurricane Thomas response team. That was directly after I left school in 2009. I remember the next one was the Christmas Eve trough. That's another one. I remember some time back we were helping out with the hurricane that hit Dominica. I was a part of that as well. And the COVID.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Eden, how are you doing?
I'm good. You?
How was the birthday?
The birthday was okay.
Your father gave you the right gift, the gift that you wanted, you sure?
I would say.
Or because you're on TV, you don't want your father to pull you up on that. Tell us a bit about yourself, how old you are, what school you attend, and what have you.
I'm 14. I attend the Leones Comprehensive Secondary School. I've been in cadets for 2 or 3 years. Since in December, it will be 3 years. I joined the Cadet Corps the week before my recruit camp. At first, I wasn't very interested in joining. I wasn't too sure because I could not do a push-up, and I was saying to myself, if I can't do a push-up, then I can't be a cadet. The summer before cadets, there was a family day, right? And I attended that family day with my father, and one officer, he told me that I should join. Just give it a chance, join. I was skeptical. Eventually, I decided to, right? My father taught me how to drill. The day I came to training as a recruit, BSM taught me how to do the saluting to the friends. Yes.
How many push-ups do you do now?
5.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, I'm just curious.
5.
Somebody's whispering 5. I bet you could do 10, 15, 20 now.
5.
5? Don't say that too
That's
loud.
20 can do it. You can do it.
Okay, sounds good. What has it been like for you since you've joined the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps?
It's been fun. A whole lot of fun.
What was the best aspect of it?
The best aspect, I would say, is drilling in the rain. For me, I love drilling in the rain.
That's your chance. That's one time your parents cannot say, do not go out in the rain. Okay. We have Jikela Umi sitting next to you, and I'm hoping that later on she'll be able to tell me what the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps, what the motto of the Cadet Corps is. Welcome, Jikela. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you. I am 17 years old. I recently graduated from Leones, my alumni. It will be coming September, 4 years since I've been in the Cadet Corps. I would say my experience has had a lot of ups and downs, but it has been the best experience for me being in cadets. I have went to a few parliament meetings at Parliament House, done a few flag raisings for the Foaso Primary School, and yeah, I would say that.
Another Leones student, Mr. Lubo, probably watching this program and smiling away, so happy that the students are doing well for themselves. In terms of your friends, what kind of reaction you get from your friends when you say to them that you already realize that you're part of the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps?
Most of my friends, from school, they love it. Most of them call me, Corporal Sergeant. They used to mix up the ranks for some reason. Corporal Sergeant, Sergeant Corporal, just make it fun. Like to them, it's just looking up
To you.
But yeah, looking up to me. But I would say that they just see that it fits with me and they don't put me down for it. They really push me into being what I have become today as a cadet.
Interesting. Crystal Bailey.
Hi.
You have the name of a young singer that I know. Can you sing? You want to
Not
sing
really,
a few
no.
lines
I
for me?
cannot sing.
You cannot sing?
No.
You sure? Have you tried?
Yeah, it's not too pleasing.
Okay. Tell us a bit about yourself, Crystal.
So I'm 16. I attend the St. Judas Convent. I've always wanted to be a cadet since, grade 4? But I wasn't really able to join because I didn't have the age for it. And I completely forgot about it until, second term Form 1. And then I saw, 2 or 3 cadets from my school because we don't have many. And I was like, okay, wow, I like to see your drill, you're going on parades and stuff. I really like it. So I went to my mom and I said, can I join? And she said, no, I was like, why did you say no? And then she said something about it's too pressuring, and I have asthma as well. So she said it would be too much for me. And then I called one of my aunts, and she brought me to training. It was the following Saturday, and my mom didn't know about it. I thought I was going out, and then I went back home.
Okay.
I went back home, and then she was laughing and stuff, and then she said I could stay. And then it's been really, really fun. I've attended all camps except for the previous, the survival camp, because I was ill and I had to go home. But apart from that, I've been to all the camps. My current rank is a staff sergeant. It's been a roller coaster of emotions being a cadet, but it's mostly been fun, like really, really fun. Most people would look at cadets and be like, oh, you have to be really tough, you have to be able to do push-ups, you have to be able to, you have to run, and I will never let my child join because that's abuse. And I'm like, abuse where? It's not abuse, it's fun. Like Aiden said, the drilling in the rain, the PT, the camps, waking up early in the morning.
The night out.
Oh my God, that's fun. And waking up early in the morning and having to go and do PT, run around. It's like really refreshing. And it's not the best while you're on it, because you'd be like, I want to go home. But when you go home, like you miss it, you really, really miss it.
It's a legitimate reason to be out of home, out of the house.
Yeah.
Especially for some of you who may have some younger siblings, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, you see, like the command officer said, it gets us ready for life. So, like she mentioned, we will wake up early, we'll have physical training and this, that, and the other. It's just getting them ready for what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How are you able to balance cadet, your training, and your normal school life? How do you balance that?
Quite easy.
It's
not difficult at all.
Why are you answering me like that?
It falls into place.
How does it fall into place? Explain.
Because, okay, you have school in the morning, and then on one day during the week you have training after school. And on a Saturday you have training in the morning. So it doesn't really clash with your schoolwork unless you have like activities, cadet activities to do during school hours, when it's kind of your choice if you want to do the cadet activities or not. So it's not like you're being pressured into doing the cadet activities or not.
It doesn't build up, it doesn't take time to switch in between. It's quite easily to move around.
Okay.
And that one day during the week, after a long, long day of school, classes, teachers in your ears, that cadet, that
so
training,
really enhances
yeah.
and not take away.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take it that I'm sitting there with all grade A students, right?
Yes.
I'm just curious. I mean, the whole of Saint Lucia plus persons beyond the watching. So if you're not speaking the truth, then it'll be out there. I see persons commenting, saying, you know.
I wonder.
What would you say to young persons watching you now who curious, interested, but like you, sometimes you've heard some of the negativity about the cadets, you know, it's too tough, you know, it's abusive and so on. What would you say to dispel some of those notions?
Join and go for the experience yourself to see what it's actually like.
Because you wouldn't know until you do it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just to add on that, you wouldn't know how you would respond to something unless you try it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one's opinion is just their opinion, and what you can handle may be much different from what they can handle. Yeah.
But most times the pushback comes from the adults, the parents.
Yes.
So the student may want to engage, but they get the pushback from the parents.
Most parents have heard stories about cadets like way back in the days about it being like really, really bad. People will leave with bruises and stuff. Yeah, it's not like that. It's really like you would hear stories about it, but you wouldn't know if it's true or not until you actually come to the training and see what it's like for yourself.
And I would just like to add, I wasn't really interested in cadets because I joined in Form 2. It was one of my friends who told me about it, and I was like, I'm not sure. But then a Saturday, I just went training, and I didn't even tell my mother for sure I was going training. But I went, I experienced it myself, and from that day, I never stopped going to a training meeting. May have missed a few, but I don't think I can ever let down cadets because to me, it's just where home is at. if you understand. It's just there.
Since you made that point, in terms of socializing, were any of you sort of shy before joining cadets? And that helped you
very.
sort of confidence?
Let me give my experience because it's something I always tell them. And it's something that my peers at school saw for themselves. I stutter, and I believe by Form 4, like you get to that rank where you are just given that you just have to be responsible for the cadets below you, and it forces you in that position to speak up, right? And I mean, I will always come back to cadets as that they give me that platform to develop myself in that aspect, that confidence aspect. I was not too fond of speaking in front of people, and to be in front of my cadets, it just comes natural. And like she said, it's home. We just feel like we are the right place. Yeah.
Anyone else wants to chime in on being a member of the Cadet Core and getting over your lack of self-confidence or what have you?
Well, when I was in Form 1, I didn't really talk to people. For me to make a friend with someone, they had to come and talk to me. I'm still kind of that way, but not in the same way. Now, I speak my mind a lot more. Before, I would never do that. I would always sit, think, and the time would pass. Yeah. I would always say things that I was ashamed of. I would say something, and then I would think about it for days. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Now,
Ladies?
Nothing really much to say, but it has boosted my confidence by a lot. I have gained a lot of confidence throughout my time being in cadets. I was a little shy in Form 1, and I never really had the best of experiences with most people. But throughout my time in cadets, I gained some friends, I gained trust, I gained people that, push me forward. So it really gets you to a place where you just feel a bit safe, but at the same time, it is what it is.
Like you show of yourself now.
Yes,
like
I'm more sure of myself than I was 3 years ago.
Show of your abilities and so on.
Would you say when you look around your community, Saint Lucia in general, that this is possibly what is lacking with young persons, especially those who seem to be going astray, in terms that they don't have any allegiance to a social group like the Cadet Corps, Scouts, or Guides, or any of those groups? What's your take on that? In terms of, do you think it's necessary for any student like yourself to be affiliated to some group to offer them some sort of guidance?
I mean,
yes.
It gives you a boost. It starts pushing you forward if you cannot take that step yourself. So I would say yes.
Sorry, Jikela. Because I find that young people nowadays, they are not really attached to persons with that sense of responsibility and sense of themselves. Like what I find with the groups, you tend to meet people that you may not be around with, the type of people that you may not be around with in your normal lives. Yes, I would say that would be the biggest thing, because you'll find that one young person may be in an environment where he or she is not really linked to someone who is right for them in terms of leading them
in the right direction.
In the right direction. And with the youth groups, you tend to meet many new people, new friends. You, like myself, I've met a lot of the adults, like the commanding officer. he has helped me in some dark times. He knows, and I didn't really have that kind of leadership around me.
Right.
Yes, so I can say for one that is needed nowadays.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. We're due for another break. When we return, we'll be joined by another young cadet, including those we already have on set with us. So stay tuned. We're discussing the Saint Lucia Cadet Core celebrating their anniversary throughout the month of July. Stay tuned.
The world's climate is changing, and that affects all of us. Storms are becoming increasingly intense. Periods of intense drought and heavy rain stress farm animals and destroy our crops. Higher average ocean temperatures kill our coral reefs and change the migratory patterns of fish. Saint Lucia contributes only 0.0015% of global greenhouse gas emissions, but is doing its part, along with countries around the world, to reduce the emissions that are warming our world and changing our climate. These efforts are called mitigation. But decades of emissions have already changed the climate, and the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere today will increase average global temperatures even more. We need to adapt, that is, do everything we can to prepare for and respond to the actual and expected negative effects of climate change, and everyone has a role to play. We need to protect our crops, build homes that withstand storms, and keep our drains and waterways free of garbage to help us recover or bounce back from climatic events. Learn more about the Government of St. Lucia's National Adaptation Plan and the steps you can take to protect yourself and your fellow St. Lucians.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is Saint Lucia. Let her inspire you.
Welcome back. We are at the studios of the National Television Network. We're speaking the Saint Lucia Cadet Core celebrating their anniversary, and we're joined by some of the young members of the Cadet Corps. We have with us now Calvin Simon.
Thank you. Good
Welcome.
day. Thank you.
Simon looks like he's ready for action in the field. Tell us a bit about yourself, Simon.
My name is Calvin Simon. I'm 16. I attend the NTN Secondary School, and I've been in the Cadet Corps for 4 years now. 4 years in September.
How did you get involved?
I saw my friends join, and I said I can do that too. So I joined too.
How many push-ups are you doing now?
20.
Wow, Calvin has that radio voice and that deep. Should get you to do a commercial one of these days. What has being a member of the Saint Lucia Cadet, what has it done for you personally?
Well, before, when I had just come to school, I could not really talk to none of the people I talk to now because I was shy. And then I joined cadets and they forced me to shout and elevate my voice and stuff. So now I have a bit more courage. Yeah.
Having that voice you have there, you don't need to do much, you know. You have a very powerful voice. You need to use that voice. Yes. In terms of your being at school and doing the training and what have you, earlier on also we heard from some of your colleagues the pushback they got from their parents. Did you get any of that from your parents, or were they more encouraging?
Well, I came home with the consent form. I showed my father, and he was like, you know what? Join cadets, because I think you need some discipline in your life.
And is he happy so far that it has worked?
Yes.
Or you're still giving some trouble around the house?
He said it's working.
He says it's working. What about your mom? How does she feel?
She feels good about it. She know where it is be. She good. She glad I just not, be liming around with people I'm not supposed to and stuff.
So the Saint Lucia Cadet Core is like a monitoring device, a tracking device.
Yeah.
Okay. I want each one of you to take a turn and just to speak, the cameras on you, just to speak to young Saint Lucians out there who may be kind of on the borders, they want to join, they're not sure. I want each of you to take a turn and encourage other young persons out there to come in and join the Saint Lucia Cadet Core. Let's begin with you.
If you want to join, but like me, you got like a little pushback and stuff, I would encourage you, take the risk. Take the risk. Sometimes you just need a risk. You need a little push. If you like it, well, then you probably have to deal with your parents after. But at least you know you like it and you want to stay. There are some people that join and they don't like it, so they don't come back. But if you know you want to join, try it out, see what you like. If you don't like it, then you don't have to come back.
Gikela?
Like she said, it's your choice. But for most of the young girls that came to me at HES telling me that they want to join cadets, they want to be a member, they want to be a part of it, they see what I do and they want to experience it. Join it. You know what you want, so go for it, because it's your choice. It's your opportunity to go where you want to go. So to anybody out there who is willing to take the risk, as she said, do it. It's not that hard.
And I hope the camera is capturing Gikela's nails, because I'm sure some of the ladies who want to join the Cadet Corps might be thinking, well, I cannot do my nails, I cannot do my hair. And I could tell you, under that beret, Gikela has a really fancy hairdo. So don't be discouraged that you won't be able to wear your nails, your little makeup now and then, and your hair, right?
No, I mean, tomorrow is my prom, that's why I have it. It's not really allowed.
It's prom day tomorrow. So that's the only reason why, Nathan Harrison, the Lieutenant Colonel, is allowing the nails. You're excused just for today.
Yes, but generally, no nails at prom.
Okay, understood. Understood, that's acceptable. Calvin, now use that voice to really project and encourage persons to join the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps.
I would say to join it because I don't think people just really have things doing on a Saturday. And it's a fun experience. You can come with your friends, tell them to join, you'll be there. And if, for instance, you want a job, they can help you out with it because most of the skills you already have it. Mm-hmm. You know how to do interviews and stuff, so there's our fun outings. If you say a night, okay, I don't want to really stay home. I don't have nothing doing. Come Saturday, you're drilling, you're outside, they're teaching you how to walk and crawl in bush.
Tell me about a typical Saturday training. What's that like?
A typical Saturday training is probably doing, like, if we have independence coming up, we'd probably do drills per slow match, quick match, drills that can prepare us for independence. Or if we have a flag raising ceremony, we'll take a group of people and practice our drills. Or just come Saturday and study with different field craft, map and compass.
First aid.
Yeah, first aid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about you, Jamal? In terms of speaking to the younger generation, persons who may be kind of interested but they're not sure, they've heard some of the rumors about the Saint Lucia Cadet Corps, speak to them.
Okay, so just to quickly add to what Simon said about a Saturday training before I go continue. I am a middle manager. I'm a warrant officer class 2, the battalion sergeant major. And just come through, join you, you learn the majority of the core subjects, the skill at arms, the weapon training. We learn how to use firearms, just in case. Drills, foot drill, field craft, like you said, and so on. Now to your question. Cadet training fosters leadership and self-development. That main point, self-development. And I know a lot of young people more want to look for that fun aspect. It's a lot of fun. And let me just say that the right way. You will not know what it's like until you try it out for yourself. Don't make anyone discourage you, because you don't want to look back and it's like, wow, I could have really joined that years ago, you know, and like now it's a bit too late and so on and so forth, because the majority of my peers look at me now and they're like, wow, I should have really tried this out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also take it that you have learned, well, all of you have learned a lot about things like etiquette, protocols, and even general things about Saint Lucia that you may not have known prior, or probably would have taken for granted.
Yeah, because like the commanding officer said, we want to foster a good citizen in you. So it's not just about the drills and the paramilitary subjects. We want to develop that good citizen in you.
Okay.
So that's everything.
Let me just take the final comments from each one. We're about to wrap up. Speak your mind, anything that you thought of whilst we were having this conversation that you'd like to share, any appeal that you want to make to persons out there, anything you want to say about your anniversary coming up. So we're going to go in, well, not in order of ranks, but in order of sitting positions right now. So
that makes sense.
You have the floor right now.
Like I said earlier, if you're interested in joining, feel free to come, see what it's like, figure yourself out, because some people, like, you know, you're just not sure about yourselves and like you'll just need something to push you. You can come, figure it out for yourself.
I really have nothing much to say because everything has been said. Mm-hmm. But take it from me, you will enjoy, depending on, you know, what you prefer, but you will earn a happy 94th anniversary to the Cadet Core.
Okay. Calvin Simon. I like that name and that voice, you know, right? Let me hear that voice. Let me hear that booming voice.
Just do it.
That's nice.
Yeah, so don't let nobody discourage you from doing what you want to do. I know you'll hear a lot of stories that don't really add up. So come, take the chance. If you like it, stay. If you don't like it, don't stay.
This was...
Yeah, I think that's all.
Happy 93rd anniversary to the Saint Lucia Cadet Core. I can tell you that the past 18 years has been the highlight of my life. Yeah, I owe a lot to the Cadet Core, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. More downs.
You're still here. You're still standing strong.
Yes, I'm still standing strong. I'm not too sure.
You're standing strong. So that's what I want you guys to do for me as we wrap up. I want you to see the Saint Lucia Cadet Core, followed by your motto. I'm not going to say what it is in case some of you have forgotten. So you're going to say that together on the count of 3 as you wrap up. So the Saint Lucia Cadet Core and then your motto. On the count of 3, 1,
we
2.
don't really need the count of 3.
No, I would like to do the count of 3.
Like we have that teamwork, like we just
work. Okay, okay, do your thing. I leave it up to you. Let's go.
Saint Lucia Cadet Core, leadership, discipline, service.
Thank you guys for being here. Let me wish you again a happy anniversary, all the best in your endeavors. Happy prom day to you and happy graduation to you as well. And just keep on doing what you're doing, influencing others, influencing the young people out there. We're certainly at a time in Saint Lucia where it is needed. So keep on inspiring lots of other people out there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.